Pick a mango,
Hey,
a juicy mango.
everybody.
So,
To Late Night Snacks,
what's up, what's up, what's up?
or what we're calling Snacks Goes to the Theater.
Snox goes to the theatre. Hold on, I'm just entering my little contest here. All right. So, tonight, an all free holiday version of Snacks Goes to the. You can't even see me.
All right, move
I
your
just want
move.
everybody to see my shirt. For
I can
tonight, we're
see
covering What's
tonight.
on
Yeah.
the
Once on this island.
mango. All right. Why are we doing Once on the Island? So, here's the story. I'll lay it out how we got to this point.
hmm
Oh, Michael Arden. Okay, so last week we covered Spring Awakening.
Yes.
During Spring Awakening, you had the original Broadway show that did a revival a few years later, directed by Michael Arden, which incorporated Deaf West, which is an organization that deals with deaf entertainers.
hmm
And they did full production, and Michael Arden was absolutely amazing with his production of Deaf West. Who's Michael Arden? Michael Arden is an actor. He's turned pretty much a director now, but he did Bear, he did Hunchback of Notre Dame. He's done a lot of stuff. Incredible. He's got an incredible voice as well, but he's got this amazing artistic out of the box talent for directing and designing a show. So his next venture after Deaf West Spring Awakening was Once on This Island.
hmm
And Once on This Island is very unique because it is a one act. It is a one act show versus the typical two act intermission, 2.5, 3 hour shows
Yeah,
that you see on
it's
Broadway.
it's an hour and a half long.
90 minutes, no
hmm
intermission. You go there, you sit through the whole thing, and you're out the door.
hmm
And it feels like you get a whole evening of entertainment with it. You don't feel gypped from the hour and a half. Based on the book, I forget the author's name. Will kill me because she's absolutely historic in the African American
All right,
community.
it is based on. I will give you the information here because yes, I wrote it down. It's based on a book called My
My love,
Love, or The Peasant Girl
yes,
by Rosa Guy.
right.
Or
Rosa, yeah, she's a prolific historic African American writer. She's this book that she wrote, My Love, was the telling of this peasant girl from the other side of the tracks. Basically, is
Mhm.
what it boils down to. I mean, you could put this story just about any setting, in urban America, and you're going to get the same story. You have a person who is born in the wrong side of town, or the wrong color, or the wrong poverty level. And aspires to be, or falls in love with somebody on the other side of the tracks. Somebody
Mhm.
who's affluent, or considered socially acceptable, or has more money, or light skinned, or whatever the case may be. That's the story.
Right.
And the way this story was set it's been told many different ways throughout its history. The original Broadway production was the music and lyrics were considered by Lynn Ahrens, which is a team of a male and female writer and composer. They've
hmm
also done Ragtime. They've done Titanic. They've done I think some other musicals that they've done. They're they're up and coming. They've done a lot of big stuff in the last 20 years on Broadway, and this the way they set this, they set this on um, in the original Broadway production in 1991 was set in the Caribbean. Ah,
I
maybe
believe.
not.
I believe so.
I don't know. Somebody's gonna correct me if I'm wrong, but
Yeah, I was
It
hoping.
started
No.
LaChanze, who was nominated for a Tony Award. LaChanze went on to do win a Tony Award for Color Purple. She's amazing. If you've never heard of LaChanze, you never heard. I believe she's doing Tina Turner now on Broadway. It was her last stint, I believe. Um,
Right.
she's amazing. She's absolutely. She played the original Timoon. Timoon is the peasant girl.
Yeah.
The book is called My Love, or the Peasant Girl. That's the Timoon means peasant girl, and she's the girl who's from the wrong side of the tracks. and they said it. They said the original Broadway production, I believe, in the Caribbean, but it's an island.
Hmm.
One side of the island has the very, very poor people. The other side of the island has the very rich, affluent people. Just so happens in this story that one of the poor side of the island happens to be more dark-skinned islanders, and the rich side of the island happens to be more fair-skinned
Yeah, they're
islanders.
more fair skinned.
And the story is really set around the gods. That these people, these storytellers, these people of the island, they believe that the gods rule their life, and they have four gods. They have the gods of love, the god of death, the god of earth, and the god of water. You know, the earth and the water obviously are the nutrients to the island, and love and death are the nutrients to the soul. And they, you know, these people of the island on the wrong side of the island, or the poor side of the island, they live, breathe, and die by what the gods say or do or think.
Yeah.
And so our story takes place with Timoon. She's an orphaned
Yeah.
girl, orphaned through a storm. There's you know, all those tropical storms and stuff that happens in the tropical islands down there. This one just happens. It was kind of generic in the original Broadway production. Gets very much more specific in the production we're going to talk about. But in the original Broadway production, it was just kind of generic. And she's orphaned. Who's this? Oh,
Mel's
what's up, Mel?
Mel. Mel
Yeah,
sounds
North and South Africa, kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
She is orphaned because her parents were killed in a storm, or her mother was killed in a storm. They never talk about the father, but the mother was killed in the storm.
I think it was both of them. Yeah, obviously it was both of them.
Well, yeah, I mean, both of her parents are gone, needless to say. And this peasant couple pick her up, raise her, you know, love her, you know, treat her to do the right thing by the island and by the gods. And one of the rich boys from the island, it's a car wreck in another storm later on down the road, and she cares for him. They can't figure out where he's from, and she cares for him. She nurses him back to health. They fall in
and
love.
His name is Daniel.
They fall in love. Timon is taught that she can't be with him because he's on the other side of the island, and things just transpire. And it's a tragedy.
Yeah.
But it's a tragedy with a moral message. The whole thing is about a moral message. The whole thing is about what are you going to do for love? What does love really mean? You know, is love more important than society? You know, the whole morality thing about light and dark, good and evil, you know, the prejudices that go with the poor and the rich. So there's a lot of moral messages to it, but basically it deals with fate. And are you going to do what you were born to do, or are you going to live outside the box? And by pushing and living outside the box, does that have an effect on generations to come? Whereas does doing what you're supposed to do, as of Daniel does that have an effect on generations to come? In the very end, it has a very, very poignant story about Timoon, who tries to push out the envelope and tries to live outside the box. Her tragedy affects generations to come. Whereas Daniel, who just conformed and did what he was asked to do, his story doesn't affect generations.
And according to the story, Daniel was promised to someone when he was younger, so he basically had to marry her.
Yeah. All right.
So
yeah, he would not conform. And it's a beautiful story, and the tragedy of it.
And I am now going to share my screen. You guys can see some pictures from the actual cast.
For the new production, right? Let's talk about the new production really quick. The new production, what Michael Arden did with the new production. This is the revival production. The original production was in 1991, same year as Miss Saigon. We'll talk about Miss Saigon later. But the new production was in the Circle of the Round. There's Timoon's adopted mother. That is Yurli. Eurlie, Mama Yurli. There's Daniel and Death. Well, we'll get to those in a second. But the new production, as you can see here, just pause that one right there with Daniel and Death. Yeah, just pause it there. You can see the people, the audience members behind them. The way this was designed was done in the Circle and the Round. And Michael Arden and his design team, they set this in Haiti after the Haiti storms and after the real Haiti storms. And they set it as a true life tale. With this island recovering after the Haiti storms, trying to rebuild. And our story begins with the cast out there with, you know, mingling within the audience. The audience is on the stage with everybody. It's a circle in the round. The whole theater's done up like the destruction of Haiti. and the cast interacts with the audience, and then lightning strikes, and we're in our story. Basically, what it is this group of islanders all together sitting around a scared little girl who's scared of the storm, and they're telling her the story of Timoon and how she lived her life by the effects of a storm. And the whole story is these storytellers getting into the story, telling the story, getting into the characters, like the four gods that we mentioned before. This is death right here. They find pieces of trash and make the costumes as the story progresses,
Right.
and it's really neat. Great special effects of the thing. It's done on a real beach, real sand, and real water, and there it is. They're circled around. So when I went to go see it, you see that pole thing that's coming right here from the light from Alex Newell right there on the left hand side. I sat on, if you're looking at Alex facing the audience, I sat on his right hand side about 3 rows up. Is where
nice.
when I went to go see it. Yeah, that's actually where Alex is right there. We'll talk about Alex in a minute. Is really the post of the goddess of love. That's Lea Salonga's post. When I went to go see it, and the reason why we went to go see it was on this island, which was very. I'm so glad I got to see it. It probably is the best theatrical experience I've ever had, because you're so involved, you're so encompassed. The music is fantastic. It's such a great show. But the reason why we went to go see Once on the Island is because of Lea Salonga. When I got to go to New York for my birthday a couple of years ago. It was all about the Miss Saigon trip, going to see the Miss Saigon revival, going to meet Ava Noblezada at her one woman show afterwards. Well, we found out that Once on This Island was playing, and Lea Salonga, the original Kim of Miss Saigon, was starring as the Goddess of Love on Broadway. So we called around to the theater, and I knew somebody who knew people that worked at this through the Sherbet organization, which is where Once on This Island was, and they called backstage, or they called the theater and arranged for me to have a private meeting with Lea Salonga afterwards. Oh, and I didn't share that picture. I should have shared the picture here.
No, I forgot to ask you about that one.
Okay, so I did get to meet with Lea afterwards, and interesting. It's be careful who you meet. Kind of you meet your people who meant a lot to you your entire life, and I'll talk about what Lea really meant to me when we get to the whole
right
Saigon stuff in next week. But Lea meant the world to me. Oh, there's Timoon, and when I met her, she's kind of not great, kind of standoffish, and it was harsh. The kid that played young Sheldon was at our show as well, and I guess Lea's a big fan of Big Bang Theory, and young Sheldon came up after my meeting. I were like right in the middle of my meeting, and Lea was all about young Sheldon, and I was kind of no longer around. So it was interesting.
So, I have more pictures. I just have to get to them. Here we go.
I'm trying to get you that picture. I'll show you of me and Lea. I will put it up there. Okay, here we go.
All right, so here we go.
So that looks like the original production. That's not the new.
The original production, yeah.
That's not the new. Actually,
I wasn't able to get. I wasn't able to get the other one. I wasn't able to find the other.
Looks like a college or local production is what that looks like. To tell you the truth. There we go. Okay, so I will send this to you, Dawn.
Send that to me, and I will put it up.
This is me and Lea, the original Miss Saigon, and the Goddess of Live.
And there she is.
Okay, so here we go. This is a great picture. Just pause it here. So can you go full screen on that? Or is that full screen? Is that full screen on your picture?
Yeah.
Okay. So
here
you have Q. Quentin Earl Jones. He plays Agwe, the goddess of water. There you have Lea Salonga in the white there, plays Goddess of Love. You have Alex Newell, who is from Glee. He played Unique from Glee. He was part of the cast of the Glee Project.
Yeah.
And he is also, I'd say he's transgender. He's, what do you call it? Where he goes between the the two
Male and
sexes.
female.
No, if he was androgynous in a way. I don't know if he. I don't know if he's
Yeah,
full on.
I forgot what they call it. Because I don't necessarily consider him transgender.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know his story, so I don't want to misspeak on his personal story.
Yeah.
But he does carry himself a lot as a woman, or very very feminine dressing. But he's still a male and classifies himself as a male. So I'm not sure on Alex's story. People who's watching maybe know Alex's story better. But he
Right.
ironically, if there's anything that you want to get from the show, is go on YouTube and Google "Mama Will Provide" by Alex Newell. And you'll see him in the show doing "Mama Will Provide," which is the big Asaka mother goddess of Earth number, and he absolutely. Lea Salonga was the headlining act in this show. And Lea Salonga returns to Broadway. Lea Salonga once on this island. Blah blah blah. Alex Newell stole all the thunder from this production. I mean, Alex Newell got when they did the final performance, which is on YouTube, by the way. When they did the final performance of that,
incredibly talented.
Standing ovation. Oh god, he's absolutely. It was so much fun in person too. And then this picture also has I believe that is Tamara Gray from American Idol doing Papa Gay, the goddess of death. There,
right.
The original when I saw it, the original goddess of death was Merle Dandridge. It was amazing. She only did a short run, and then Tamara Gray replaced her. And then
she came back for a little bit.
She came back for a bit. Tamara came back. Yes, good. So they shared the role between the whole run. The run ran about a year, I believe, was the full run of Once on this Island. Back there is a beautiful Haley Kilgore who played the new Timoon. She took LaShance's position there. She's absolutely amazing, amazing. I don't know what else you got there. So that's the gods.
These are the gods.
And there's the looks like the curtain call for the final production. It looks like.
Yeah, but I like the picture because it's got everybody in it.
Yeah,
that's why I picked it.
There's a little girl there, the little blue khaki dress. That's the little girl they're telling the story to the whole time. She stays on stage with them the whole time, and basically, you get reminded frequently that they're telling the story to her.
Right.
There is Timoon's first solo. Right when she enters, her first song, "Waiting for Life," which is an amazing solo for a young female artist. That is just one of it looks like
that's basically not the entire cast, but
it's a large portion. I'm trying to think what song that is.
That has to be.
I don't know. Sokka's off from one of the ports, because in the audience they have the 4 ports for the gods.
Yeah,
and they're not directly involved, so they can't be Mama Will Provide because the Sokka's up there.
No.
Oh, maybe Mama Will Provide. I don't think she does go up there at one point. Anyway, the ensemble's on there. Oh, another neat thing that Michael Arden did with this production was that Michael Arden had real life trash instruments played by the cast as part of the actual composure of the score in there. So they're playing like Coke bottle flutes and so it's really amazing. If you ever catch the making of.
Okay, and there's
Ms. Merle and Daniel.
The goddess of death there again.
Isaac Powell plays Daniel. Sexy as fuck. Oh god, it's great. There is we've got that early. That's
got that early.
Adopted mother. It's Kenita Johnson, I believe. That is
who plays that. I believe that is her name.
I don't have that program. It's Leia.
And I love that picture of Leia. So
my head just lights up. It's Christmas lights. It's Daniel and
Timon.
Yeah, Timon, which is their love scene there. Q. God of Water. God of Water. It's Q. There's Alex. Mama Will Provide.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Alex. He's great. Absolutely great. And great in Glee, too. That is the 4 gods. That has got to be.
And this is another one of all 4 of the gods right here.
That's Pikamango. That looks to me like. Wait a minute. That is. Let me tell you what this is. This is actually the tour. This is the national tour right here. You can tell because it's on a flat surface, not on the circle and round. They have
Yeah.
seats back there behind them. This is the tour cast. As you can see, that's not Leia.
Yeah.
The tour was in production around the world when COVID hit. They actually had stage seats for LA, and my show was canceled, of course, because of COVID. And the tour will not resume, so that tour is over, which is,
Very
rather sad.
sad.
We don't know when Broadway or when live theater is
Yeah.
going to resume. It'll be one of the last things ever to resume. It's very, very sad, especially something like this when you have audience members on stage with you. There is Tonton Julian, who is the adopted father of Moon. There. And there's the cast, another curtain call. That is, this Leia. So, yeah. Yeah, that's Admiral. No. Tamar Gray.
That's Tamara.
Oh. Cast all.
And that is all I have until I put the other one in here.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Please, if you've not seen the show, it's on YouTube. Indulge. It's a wonderful show. It won Tony Award for Best Revival.
Yes.
Won several Tony. Did it win? I don't know if it won any Tony Awards in '91. I know LaShawne's was up against Leia. Leia won. Which when Leia won in '91 for Miss Saigon.
And apparently they also won for best lighting design of a musical. So
they do a lot of their special effects through lighting, so I can kind of see that.
All right, let's see. Let me put this one in here. Really quickly. All right, so what other tidbits would you like to share while I am doing this? And then I will give you some more information.
It was announced this year. It was announced this year that a movie's coming out to Disney Plus. Right after Hamilton. That Disney Plus did get the rights to Once on this Island. They are doing the movie. I haven't heard anything else. I've not heard that it's gone into production at all. Apparently, Don found out tonight that Alex Newell, who plays Sokka, we showed you, God of Earth, is cast. I do know it is not the Michael Arden production. There's a different director associated.
Okay. And now, I'll do this again.
I'll be Disney Plus. On Disney Plus.
I'm going to go over here. And we're going to share.
There we are. Here's me and
There we are.
That's at the circle and around. That's when I went to go see Miss Saigon and Once on this Island. That's up on the balcony there. That's actually in the theater, circle around. And that's us. Oh, another neat thing they have going on here, they have live water. There's a live water thing, the river, the real sand. They had lightning. They had live goats, live chickens on the set. Got a picture of the goat too, somewhere in here. We'll have to share those. But yeah, it's such a fun show because it's so interactive. You're so immersed in it. Well, at least Michael Arden's vision you were.
Yeah.
Many colleges do this show. Many. Because it's a very easy show for colleges to do. You might see a local production of it in your town somewhere.
Now, the show ran off Broadway it started May 6th of 1990, and it ran from May 6th until May 27th. Then it opened on Broadway at the Booth Theater October 18th, 1990, and it ran all the way through till December 1st, 1991, for a total of 469 performances and 19 previews.
The original.
That's the original, yeah.
Revival ran about a year, I believe.
The revival began previews in November of 2017, and then it opened December 3rd that same year.
Mm-hmm. I saw it opened December 3rd. I saw it on December 9th, I believe. December 9th. So I saw it like right after it opened.
Yeah, and so it opened in the Circle in the Square Theater, and it ran Circle in the Square Theater, and it ran all the way to January 6th, 2019. So
did it run that long? Wait.
Yeah.
So January 18th, January of 19. Yeah, it's a little over a year. Yeah. Okay.
It was. It ran for 458 performances.
And on that show, Ti Moon, Haley Kilgore broke her ankle in the middle of that production, and Haley Kilgore was out for about many weeks. It was months that she was out of the production. There's a couple stand-ins that got a lot of good experience with because Kelly was out. I think she was out 4 months for the run.
Wow. Huh.
Leia only did half of a run. Leia had to go back to whatever she was doing. She had other commitments. Like I said, Merle and Tomorrow split the show. Leia did the interesting part about the user early role, the Goddess of Love. Leia did half the show. Then another woman stepped in. What's her name? Oh God, I had her name off the top of my head. I'll think of it. She stepped in. She filled in the role for the rest of the run. Until the girl from Destiny's Child was scheduled to do the last month of the run. Michelle, is it Michelle from Destiny's Child? What's her name? Michelle Williams?
Yeah,
Michelle Williams.
Yeah. I just recently read that, yeah.
She did one performance and freaked the fuck out and left. It was off the show. And so they asked Leia to come back, and Leia came back and finished the show.
Right.
It was very weird. Yeah,
however, yes, you can see the show on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
It is definitely worth the view.
It's great.
You will not be disappointed. The music is amazing.
I'm sad that the show is not.
Yeah.
Going to be on Broadway anymore. Very sad. I'm sad that I missed the tour. And it really was a short timing too. Because I had tickets to the tour a month after we were all locked down. Really, really close.
Yeah. However, you can still see it on YouTube. I do recommend that if you haven't seen it, you really need to see it.
It's hard to find on YouTube.
It is hard to find, but
if you look up Once on the Island, look up Broadway bootlegs and stuff, you eventually get directed to it because they weren't allowing it up for a long time. I think it's because of the tour. Now they kind of leave it alone. There are several different nights of it. There's 3 different really good recordings of Once on the Island on YouTube right now. There is the main one that you see all the time floating around is a show that was done later in the run that's full of alternates. There's an alternate. About half the cast is alternates. Filling in the lead roles.
Right.
It's really good. Sometimes the alternates are better. And that in that recording, the girl that plays Ti Moon was the girl that goes on to do Ti Moon in the tour. So that was neat. That's on YouTube. Then you have an early run of it right around the time that I saw it, right after Merle left and Tomorrow came on. It's probably a couple weeks after I saw the show. This had to be in January or February. This recording was recorded. Really, really close to the opening. So it was still really new. It was still finding its legs and stuff. It's a great recording as well. And then you have the final night. The final night is up there.
Final night is amazing.
Final night is amazing because this is another one of those shows that had a really, really, really hardcore fan base. They had following thing. So you go out and you go to stage door, and there's people screaming like the Beatles and stuff when people come out there, and people are camped out for this show. And the show is sold out every single night. It's when you get the show, you see it later in its run. Like somebody will do a number, or somebody will come on stage, and there's cheers like the Beatles for 10 minutes.
Yeah,
it had a huge cult following, so it was great. But yeah, the final, you watch that final recording, and you just feel the energy, you feel the love, you feel the emotion behind it. It's such a great recording.
Yeah, it is. I just recently saw that one. That one is amazing.
Yep. Nuka.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that is Once on This Island.
Yeah, so that's our little introduction to Once on This Island, which will now lead us into very special coverage that we've got going on for our Broadway series. We have been holding on to this one for a while because we're trying to get some things ironed out. We want to do really special coverage on this, but we are getting into Miss Saigon.
Oh.
And Miss Saigon is a huge part of my life. It's more than a show to me. And we will talk about why and who and what, where, and all that mess. We get to it. But what we're going to do is we're going to introduce the two composers, Elaine Baudeville and Claude Michel Schoenberg. They are French composers that created Miss Saigon. They also created Les Miserables. They created another show called Martin Guerre, and a show called The Pirate Queen, that we'll discuss kind of their shows, kind of who they are, kind of where they're from, leading into our introduction of Miss Saigon. And we're going to cover each one of those shows as well. We'll do some coverage on Les Miserables. We'll do some coverage on Martin Guerre as well. And then, of course, we're going to cover Miss Saigon over a couple weeks of our coverage. Because, I have a lot of experience. I'm trying to get some interviews going on with some folks that I know in the Miss Saigon family, and get some coverage as well, joint coverage with a couple of the fan sites that I know through Miss Saigon. Miss Saigon is more than me just going to the theater. I'm part of this huge, bigger picture of the whole Saigon family. So
yeah, I'm late to the Miss Saigon family, but as soon as I saw it, yeah.
Yep.
Where has that musical been all of my life?
So we maybe do reactions. I don't know. We're gonna do some big coverage. Yeah, we finally led there, so we'll be doing a lot of fun coverage of Saigon. I can talk Saigon for days, so we're here.
So yeah, we're planning a couple of streams on that one at least.
Yes.
One stream is not going to be enough for that one, I don't think.
Yes. If you've not seen Miss Saigon, there's a pro shot of it. Can't buy it in America, but you can get it. It is around. It is floating around. We'll talk about that. The pro shot we'll get there too, but you can find some amazing recordings in Miss Saigon as well. Les Miserables, forget Les Miserables. You can have there's a billion recordings of Les Miserables out there. Depending on what spirit, we'll discuss Les Miserables a little bit next week. Because I guess we'll get to Les Miserables. Les Miserables has a big history, an amazing history. So we'll get there. But that was Once on This Island. There is an original cast recording that is out there. If you want to get a taste of that, that is on iTunes and anywhere that you can't buy it physically. You have to order that physical copy.
You have to order it, yeah.
But it is on iTunes. The recording, and there's also the original production with LaShawne's. It has a formal cast recording as well. You can hear that one.
Yeah, there's two different versions of it. There's the version. And then there's the original version too. And
there's the London version, the West End version. I don't see these well. I had that version as well. It's great. It's a good version. So three professional recordings of Once on This Island. Check it out. It's only 90 minutes of your time.
And on that note, we'd like to thank you guys for hanging out with us. We really appreciate it.
Pick a mango.
We do this because we thoroughly enjoy Broadway musicals. Yeah. So, and we will be back next week to talk about something else.
Say hello. Say hello to the people.
I hope you guys like and subscribe. Hit the bell so you don't miss anything, because we drop different things multiple times a week, so you never know what you're gonna get.
Talking to Saigon. We're gonna talk to Saigon. This guy call her now. Say bye, Nuke.
All right. And we hope you guys have a great night, and we will see you
Bye.
guys in the next one.
Bye.
Take care, guys.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.